I want to begin with a story not about grandeur or glory, but a quiet moment from the everyday life that many of us know all too well. One morning, not so long ago, I found myself scrolling endlessly through social media, my mind a tangled mess of envy, doubt, and inadequacy. Picture it, faces glowing with success, bodies sculpted like statues, lives seemingly perfect and effortless. And there I was, sitting in my small room, feeling invisible, stuck, like I was chasing shadows. Have you ever felt that? That aching sensation deep inside, the gnawing voice whispering, why not me? Why am I not enough? It's the invisible thief of joy, the silent thief of peace. It's the comparison trap. I remember sitting there, heart heavy, realizing something so profound, it changed the course of my life. When you stop comparing, life truly begins, because comparison is a poison, a thief that steals your present moment, your self-worth, and your power to create. It's a story we tell ourselves: I am less than, I am behind, I am not worthy. But none of these stories are true. They are illusions cast by fear and insecurity. Consider the life of Thomas Edison, a man whose name lights up our world. Literally, Edison failed thousands of times inventing the light bulb. Imagine if he had looked at the success of others and said, I'll never be that great. Instead, he focused on his own journey, learning from each failure, trusting his own path. Edison's success wasn't because he was the fastest or the smartest. It was because he stopped comparing and started creating. Comparison holds you hostage to someone else's highlight reel, but your life is your own masterpiece, waiting to be painted. The fear of not measuring up is universal. We see it in the anxious eyes of a teenager trying to fit in. We see it in the professional paralyzed by self-doubt, comparing their behind-the-scenes struggles to others' polished victories. We see it in parents overwhelmed, wondering if they are doing enough. This fear breeds anxiety, depression, and a sense of disconnection from ourselves and each other. But what if I told you that your comparison is not just a thief, it's also a teacher? Because comparison reveals what you secretly desire, what you crave, and what you have yet to claim. When you shift your relationship with comparison from enemy to messenger, everything changes. So what does it mean to stop comparing and truly begin living? It begins with mindset. Mindset reclaiming your power. Your mindset is the lens through which you view yourself and the world. When you operate from a scarcity mindset, you see others' success as a threat, a zero-sum game where their rise means your fall. But the truth is, the world is abundant. There is enough light, enough love, enough opportunity for every single soul. Dr. Carol Dweck's research on growth versus fixed mindset shows us that those who thrive are not those born with innate talent, but those who believe their abilities can grow with effort. They see failure not as a verdict, but as feedback. Imagine if you stopped viewing your life as a race and started viewing it as a garden. Some plants grow fast, some slow, some bloom early, some later. Each flower is beautiful in its own time. When you let go of comparison, you nurture your garden with patience, kindness, and gratitude. You focus on your unique path and pace. This mindset shift is not easy. It requires courage to confront the conditioned beliefs and fears that fuel comparison, but it is the first step toward freedom. Beliefs, the stories that shape us. We are born with limitless potential, but the beliefs we adopt determine how much of that potential we realize. Limiting beliefs are the shadows cast by past experiences. Cultural narratives. And self-judgment, they whisper lies like, I'm not good enough, or success is for others, not me. You can rewrite these stories. Think of Oprah Winfrey, born into poverty and hardship. She refused to accept the limiting narratives around her. She rewrote her story, fueling it with belief in her worth and purpose. Today, her impact is immeasurable. Begin by becoming aware of your beliefs. Which stories are yours? Which belong to others? Ask yourself, is this belief serving me or holding me back? Then, challenge and replace limiting beliefs with empowering truths. Your belief in yourself is the foundation for your entire life. When you believe you are worthy, capable, and enough, you start living from that truth. Insights awakening to your own truth. There will come a moment when you see clearly that your value is not determined by comparison, but by the simple fact of your existence. This awakening is liberating. It quiets the noise and reveals your own unique light. The Stoics taught us that external events are neutral. It is our judgment of them that causes suffering. Marcus Aurelius wrote, the happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. When you stop comparing, you take control of your thoughts and reclaim your happiness. Vision finding your North Star. With a free mind and empowered beliefs, you can begin to see your vision clearly. Your vision is your compass, your purpose, your passion, your reason for being. It doesn't need to be grand or perfect. It simply needs to be yours. Walt Disney famously said, if you can dream it, you can do it. When you stop comparing, you make space to dream your own dreams. Aligned with your values and heart, life purpose, the fire that ignites you. Life purpose is not just a goal. It's the fire that fuels your resilience through challenges. It's the why behind your every step. Finding purpose often means learning to listen to your heart, your intuition, your deepest longings, learning to let go of negativity. Comparison breeds negativity, resentment, jealousy, self-doubt. Letting go is not about ignoring these feelings, but facing them with compassion and releasing them. Forgiveness for yourself and others is key. Gratitude, the alchemy of the heart. Gratitude transforms scarcity into abundance. By focusing on what you have rather than what you lack, you train your brain to notice blessings, joy, and growth. Adaptability, the dance of life. Life constantly changes. Flexibility and adaptability allow you to flow with life's rhythms instead of resisting. Developing positive habits, daily habits compound into the architecture of your future. Mindfulness, journaling, movement, and reflection build strength and clarity. Meaning of life: to grow, to love, to serve. Your journey is about growth of mind, heart, and spirit. It's about loving deeply, including yourself. It's about serving others, sharing your unique gifts, love, and self. The foundation love begins with self-love. When you treat yourself with kindness, patience, and acceptance, you create a foundation for authentic connection with others. Conclusion, your journey begins now. When you stop comparing, you start living, you step into your power, you embrace your uniqueness. Your life is not a competition, it's a creation, it's your masterpiece. Now, take a deep breath. Feel the freedom that comes from releasing comparison and take one small step today toward your dreams. If you are ready to embark on this journey, to stop comparing and begin living fully, subscribe and join this community of dreamers and doers. Together, we'll build lives rooted in purpose, gratitude, and love. As you breathe in this newfound freedom from comparison, you begin to notice how often your mind tries to pull you back into old habits, old stories of inadequacy, of not enoughness. This is natural. The brain craves familiarity, even if that familiarity is painful. But the moment you recognize this pull, you reclaim your power. Let's talk about mindset more deeply. Your mindset is the garden where your thoughts grow. You can let weeds of jealousy, envy, and self-doubt take root, or you can nurture flowers of self-compassion, curiosity, and courage. Consider the story of Michael Jordan, often called the greatest basketball player of all time. What many don't know is he was cut from his high school varsity team. Imagine if he had compared himself to others and given up, then instead, he used that failure as fuel, as motivation to push harder, to train longer, to believe bigger. The key is this: when you stop comparing, you stop competing with others and with your own potential. You start focusing on your own growth. Now, shift your beliefs. Those limiting beliefs you've carried, they are just stories you can rewrite. Start with awareness. Write down your negative thoughts. See them on paper. Then challenge them. Ask, is this really true? What evidence do I have that contradicts this belief? Replace limiting beliefs with affirmations grounded in reality. I am enough as I am. My journey is unique and valuable. Every step I take is progress. Belief shapes behavior. When you believe in your worth and potential, your actions reflect that. Next, embrace the power of insight. Insight is that quiet, powerful realization that you are not your thoughts, your failures, or your fears. You are the awareness behind them. This awakening gives you freedom. You start choosing your responses rather than reacting unconsciously. Marcus Aurelius reminds us you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. With this strength, craft a vision that inspires you. Your vision need not be grandiose. It needs only to resonate with your heart. Visualize the life you want, the feelings you want to experience, the impact you want to make. Your purpose will emerge naturally from this vision. Purpose fuels perseverance. When challenges arise, purpose is the light that guides you through darkness. Now, learn to release negativity, let go of grudges, resentment, and bitterness. Forgiveness is a gift to yourself. Practice gratitude daily. Write 3 things you're thankful for each morning. This simple habit rewires your brain to notice abundance. Adaptability will become your strength. Life changes sometimes. Suddenly, Being flexible allows you to flow with these changes, to grow stronger. Develop daily habits that support your vision, whether it's meditation, journaling, or exercise. Consistency is key. Remember, the meaning of life is to grow, to love, and to serve. When you embrace this, life's challenges become meaningful lessons. And finally, love yourself fiercely. Self-love is the foundation upon which all other love is built. So as you step into this new chapter, know this: you are enough, you are unique, your life is your masterpiece. Take a deep breath. Feel the power of living free from comparison. And take one small step today if you're ready to walk this path. Subscribe and join a community committed to living fully and authentically. Together, we'll create a life of purpose, gratitude, and joy. There's a quiet power in embracing your own journey, no matter how messy, uncertain, or imperfect it may seem. In a world obsessed with perfection, highlight reels, and instant success, choosing to walk your unique path takes courage, but it's the only way to true freedom. When you stop comparing, you stop running someone else's race. You stop chasing someone else's dreams. You start tuning into your own heartbeat, your own calling. Think of the lotus flower. It grows in muddy waters, yet it rises pure and beautiful above the surface. Your struggles, your fears, your setbacks, they are the mud nourishing your growth. You do not need to be perfect. You need to be present. You need to be authentic. This authenticity is magnetic. It attracts people, opportunities, and joy that resonate with your true self. It frees you from the exhausting pursuit of approval and comparison. Now, let's talk about the stories you tell yourself, the internal narratives that shape your reality. Maybe you tell yourself, I'm not as talented, or I don't have what it takes. These stories are not facts. They are interpretations, and they can be rewritten. The first step is awareness. Catch yourself in the moment when comparison creeps in. Pause. Breathe. Ask, is this thought helping me grow or holding me back? Then practice compassion for yourself and others. Everyone has their own battles. Everyone is fighting unseen wars. It's easy to compare your behind the scenes to someone else's highlight reel, but the truth is, no one's journey is as flawless as it appears. You have your own unique strengths, talents, and timing. Trust in that. As you deepen your self-awareness, begin to cultivate gratitude, not just for your successes, but for your challenges. Because challenges teach you resilience, patience, and humility. Think of Oprah Winfrey. She grew up in poverty, faced rejection and hardship, yet she chose gratitude and purpose over bitterness. Her gratitude became a wellspring of joy and strength. Your ability to adapt is equally vital. Life will bring unexpected twists, loss, failure, change, like bamboo bending with the wind. Adaptability is your superpower. When you cultivate positive daily habits, whether meditation, journaling, or simply pausing to breathe, you build a foundation that can weather any storm. And finally, Love yourself fiercely. Love yourself for your scars, your imperfections, your growth, because self-love is the root from which courage and peace bloom. So as you continue on this journey, remember, when you stop comparing, life truly begins. You step into the fullness of your being. You claim your power. You become unstoppable. Take a moment now, close your eyes, feel gratitude for your journey, every twist, turn, and lesson. Open your eyes with fresh resolve. Take one step, no matter how small, toward living your authentic life. If this message resonates with your soul, subscribe and join this tribe of brave hearts, walking the path of self-discovery and freedom. Together, we rise. Together, we live fully. Together, we begin. Have you noticed how often we forget to celebrate the small victories? We get so caught up in the destination that we miss the beauty of the journey. When you stop comparing, you begin to notice these moments, the quiet triumphs that build the foundation of a fulfilled life. It could be waking up with intention, choosing kindness over judgment, or simply showing up for yourself despite fear. Each step, no matter how small, is a victory. These moments create momentum. They shape your identity. Remember the story of J.K. Rowling, who faced rejection after rejection before creating the magical world of Harry Potter. Her journey was not easy, filled with doubt and hardship, but she celebrated every page written, every small success. When you stop comparing, you stop waiting for permission to be happy or successful. You start giving yourself grace and credit. Let gratitude become your daily practice. When you wake, think of 3 things you are grateful for. This simple habit rewires your brain, shifts your focus, and opens your heart. But gratitude alone is not enough. You need purpose, something bigger than yourself to fuel your journey. Purpose is the light that shines in the darkest moments. It's what wakes you up before sunrise, keeps you going when everything inside you screams to quit. Think of Nelson Mandela, imprisoned for 27 years, who held onto a vision of freedom and reconciliation. His purpose was his anchor. What is your purpose? Not your job title, your social media following, or your bank balance, but your deeper why. When you connect with your purpose, comparison loses its power. You realize your journey is unique and worthy, not a competition to be won or lost. Life will test your resilience. There will be setbacks. There will be moments of doubt. But if you hold on to your purpose and gratitude, you will find the strength to rise. Learn to let go of what no longer serves you. Resentment, fear, limiting beliefs. Letting go is not a one-time event, but a daily practice. Each morning, choose to release what weighs you down. Adopt adaptability as your way of life. Life's only constant is change. When you embrace change with openness, you transform obstacles into opportunities. Small positive habits build a strong foundation. Choose daily rituals that nourish your mind, body, and soul. Meditate, journal, exercise, connect with loved ones. Your life is your greatest project. Build it with intention, love, and patience, And never forget to love yourself through it all. Self-love is not selfish, it's necessary. It's the foundation that supports your dreams. So today, take a deep breath and affirm, I am enough. I am unique. My journey is mine to cherish. If you're ready to embrace this journey fully, subscribe and join our community dedicated to growth, love, and freedom. Together, we will rise beyond comparison and live authentically. When you truly commit to letting go of comparison, you begin to step into a new relationship with time. Instead of rushing to catch up or measuring your progress against others, you embrace your own rhythm. You realize that your timeline is unique, sacred, and perfectly designed for your growth. Think about the ancient trees in a forest. Some grow tall quickly. Others take decades to reach the sky. None compete. They simply grow in harmony with their environment, each contributing to the ecosystem in its own way. So too, your life unfolds in its own beautiful timing. Many of us forget that patience is an act of courage. In a world obsessed with instant gratification, waiting feels like weakness, but patience is strength. It's faith in the process, trust in your own path. Look at the life of Walt Disney. Before the magic, there were countless failures, bankruptcies, and naysayers. He didn't rush or compare his timeline with others. Instead, he persisted with patience and belief in his vision. Now, let's explore how comparison distorts your sense of self-worth. When you constantly measure yourself against others, you give away your power. You start defining your value by external achievements or recognition, but your worth is inherent. It does not fluctuate with likes, titles, or the paychecks. It's rooted in simply being you. This is a truth that many spend a lifetime forgetting. You are worthy, not because of what you do, but because of who you are, because of the breath in your lungs, because of the light in your heart. When you embody this truth, comparison loses its grip. You become free to express your authentic self without fear or apology. The power of community becomes vital here. Surround yourself with those who celebrate your growth and uniqueness. People who lift you up rather than pull you down. Together, you create a safe space to thrive without competition or judgment. Let's talk about the transformative power of gratitude once more. Gratitude is more than a practice. It's a way of seeing. It rewires your brain to focus on abundance, joy, and possibility. Each day, give thanks for your journey, your lessons, your progress. This mindset shift is a foundation for lasting happiness. Finally, embrace love as your guiding principle. Love for yourself, for others, and for the world. Love fuels resilience, compassion, and creativity. When you lead with love, comparison fades, replaced by connection and celebration. So today, take a moment to acknowledge your worth. Celebrate your unique journey. Trust your timeline. If you're ready to live free from comparison, subscribe and join a community committed to authenticity, growth, and love. Together, we will stop comparing and start living. Right now, I want you to feel the power that comes from owning your story, every success, every failure, every moment in between. This is your life, not a shadow of someone else's. It's raw, real, and uniquely yours. When you stop comparing, you stop shrinking yourself to fit into a mold that was never made for you. You expand into the fullest version of yourself. Remember the words of Maya Angelou. You may not control all the events that happen to you, but you can decide not to be reduced by them. You are not your mistakes. You are not your setbacks. You are the courage that gets up and tries again. This courage is a fire that burns inside you, fierce and unstoppable. Think of Nelson Mandela, imprisoned for 27 years, emerging not bitter, but with a vision for a free nation. He could have let comparison poison his spirit, but instead, he used his inner fire to light the way. This fire is within you too. It's the spark that ignites dreams into reality. Now is the time to fan that flame, to rise beyond the noise of comparison and doubt, to step boldly into your own greatness. Feel your heart beating. That rhythm is the drum of your resilience. It calls you forward. Challenges will come. They will test your resolve. But each challenge is a stepping stone, not a stumbling block. Stand tall like the oak tree that bends but does not break. Grow roots deep into your values and purpose. The journey ahead is yours to own. No one else's. No comparisons, only your truth. So rise up with fierce love for yourself. Celebrate your path and know that the world needs your light. If you feel this fire burning within, subscribe and join a community of warriors embracing their authenticity and power. Together, we will stop comparing and start living. Your life begins now. There is a sacred rhythm to life, a pulse that calls us to slow down, to listen deeply, and to honor our own unique journey. When you stop comparing, you start to hear this rhythm clearly. You begin to understand that life isn't about racing to a finish line. It's about dancing through every step, every stumble, every joy. Think about the river flowing through mountains and valleys. It doesn't force its way, but finds its path with grace and persistence. It embraces every twist and turn. Your life is like that river. Comparison tries to force you into someone else's current, but your true power lies in flowing in your own unique way. Now, imagine if you viewed every challenge as a teacher, every setback as a lesson designed to elevate you. This mindset transforms suffering into growth. Eckhart Tolle teaches us to live in the present moment, free from the shadows of past regrets and future anxieties. When you stop comparing, you live fully here. Now, presence is your gateway to peace. It allows you to appreciate your journey without judgment. When you cultivate presence, gratitude naturally follows. Gratitude is the light that dissolves envy and fear. This light expands your heart and mind. It opens the door to love for yourself and others. Love is the highest vibration. It breaks down the walls that comparison builds. With love, you realize that every soul is on its own beautiful journey. There is no competition, only connection. So embrace your path with open arms. Walk with intention. Celebrate your progress. no matter how small, remember, greatness is not in perfection, but in authenticity. Your true self is your greatest gift. Take a moment now to breathe deeply and affirm, I am enough. I am on my path. I honor my journey. If this message touches your heart, subscribe and become part of a tribe that celebrates authenticity, growth, and love. Together, we rise above comparison and begin to live. Let's take a moment to reflect on the incredible power of choice. Every moment you have the choice to compare or to appreciate, to shrink or to expand, to judge or to accept. The freedom to choose is the greatest gift you have. Think of Viktor Frankl, a man who endured unimaginable suffering in a concentration camp. He realized that even in the darkest moments, he could choose his attitude. That choice gave him freedom. No one could take away. When you stop comparing, you reclaim that freedom, the freedom to define your own worth, your own path, and your own joy. But freedom isn't easy. It requires practice, patience, and courage every day. You'll face the temptation to compare, to look left or right, and feel less. That's when you pause, breathe, and remember your truth. You are on your own journey. You are exactly where you need to be. You begin to trust your own timing, your own growth, your own unfolding. This trust is a radical act of self-love. It's a revolution against the pressures of a world that constantly asks you to be someone else. Gratitude anchors you in this trust. Gratitude for your strengths, your lessons, your path. When you cultivate gratitude, you shift from scarcity to abundance, from fear to faith. Your daily habits become acts of self-care and growth. Meditation grounds you. Journaling clarifies your mind. Movement awakens your body. These simple practices weave a fabric of resilience and joy. Remember, comparison is a story you no longer have to tell. You can write a new story, one of acceptance, love, and purpose. So today, choose to step into your power, choose to stop comparing and start living. If this resonates with your soul, subscribe and join a community dedicated to authentic growth and freedom. Together, we rise. Together, we live. Together, we begin. As you stand at this threshold between the old habit of comparison and the new freedom of authenticity, you may feel a mix of excitement and fear. This is natural. Transformation asks us to step into the unknown. But remember, the unknown is where your greatest growth happens. Think of the caterpillar who must surrender the safety of crawling to become a butterfly. The process is messy, uncertain, and at times painful. But without it, the butterfly never takes flight. Your journey is no different. You are shedding old stories, old doubts, old fears. You are preparing to rise. Now is the moment to deepen your vision. What does your authentic life look like? How do you want to feel when you wake up in the morning? Visualize yourself living free from comparison, fully present, fully alive. This vision will guide you through moments of doubt. When the noise of comparison creeps in, return to your vision. Let it remind you that your worth is not measured by others' achievements, but by your own growth, love, and contribution. Prepare yourself to let go of perfectionism. Perfectionism is often the shadow of comparison. It keeps you stuck, afraid to be imperfectly. You embrace imperfection. It is the gateway to freedom. Celebrate your progress, not your perfection. Each step forward is a victory. Surround yourself with support. Find your tribe, those who encourage your authenticity and celebrate your journey. And most importantly, hold yourself with compassion. You are doing your best. That is enough. Now, breathe deeply. Feel the power of your own truth rising within you. In the next and final part, we will celebrate your transformation and give you the tools to continue living free from comparison. Fully alive and empowered, this is your moment, the moment where everything changes, the moment where you choose to step out of the shadows of comparison and into the full light of your own being. Feel the power rising inside you, the power that comes from knowing you are enough, exactly as you are. The power that comes from embracing your unique story, your unique gifts. Remember the words of Brené Brown: owning our story and loving ourselves through that process is the bravest thing that we will ever do. You have faced your fears, your doubt, your comparisons. You have fought the hardest battles, the battles within, and now you stand victorious. This victory is not about perfection, it's about progress. It's about showing up every day, choosing courage over comfort, choosing authenticity over approval, choosing love over fear. Your life is your masterpiece. No one else can paint it the way you can. So rise. Rise with the courage of Edison lighting up the night. Rise with the resilience of Mandela transforming a nation. Rise with the heart of Maya Angelou inspiring generations. Your journey is a beacon of hope to others, still trapped in comparison's chains. Your story will light the way. And now, I invite you to join this community, a tribe of souls committed to growth, love, and freedom. Subscribe so you never walk alone. Together, we will rise. Together, we will live fully. Together, we will begin. Your life begins now, and the best is yet to come. Subscribe now. Your journey to freedom and fulfillment starts here.